It is time for another adventure. What's up? Welcome to my Avengers Doomsday cast reveal part 2 predictions continued. So, I know it took me a long time to get back to the cast reveal part 2 predictions, but I had a lot of more names to come up with. Now if I'm correct, there could be a total of 62 characters in Avengers Doomsday. Like 64 characters in Avengers Doomsday, which would be pretty cool. And in my last cast reveal part 2 prediction where I had Scarlett Johansson as Black Swan, I don't think she'll be playing Black Swan in Avengers Doomsday. I mean, I do think Scarlett Johansson will be in Avengers Doomsday, but not as Black Swan. I don't even think the Black Swans will be in Avengers Doomsday. I think they're going to replace that with like the Harbingers of Doom, which would be pretty cool. But I do think Scarlett Johansson will be playing an evil version of Black Widow, and I think she'll be playing Madam Hydra. Kind of like Chris Evans as Captain Hydra, which would be pretty cool. For these for the rest of the cast. Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Vin Diesel as Groot, Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter, Jonathan Majors as Kang. Yes, I do think Kang will return in Avengers Doomsday. It could be Jonathan Majors' return to the MCU. And the way I have a theory about this, I'm going to make a theory video about this, but the way I think Jonathan Majors could come back is connected to the anchor being concept that was introduced in Deadpool and Wolverine. And the next I have Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, Kaizen as Phyla-Vell. Maybe she gets kidnapped by Dr. Doom. That'd be pretty cool. Famke Janssen as Jean Grey, Halle Berry as Storm, Emma Dumont as Polaris, who played Polaris in The Gifted show. So we could be getting like all of Magneto's children in Avengers Doomsday. Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, Chris Evans as Nomad, since in the first Doomsday teaser we saw Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. I think that Steve Rogers that we saw in the first Doomsday trailer is the Nomad version, the one with the son that's James Rogers. But I do think Chris Evans will be playing double in Avengers Doomsday, and the other character he'll be playing will be Captain Hydra, the evil version of Captain America. And the next I have Josh Brolin as Thanos, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, Don Cheadle as War Machine, Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Paul Bettany as Vision, James Spader as Ultron, and the version of Ultron that we see in Avengers Doomsday, I think it could be a variant of Ultron, a version of Ultron that's from the same universe as Doctor Doom, that was created by Doctor Doom, the Tony Stark, who becomes Doctor Doom. And he's basically the General Grievous of the Doombots. Like, he leads the Doombots. And then that could also explain why we get Vision. Maybe the Ultron that we see in Vision Quest is the same Ultron that we see in Avengers Doomsday. That is the leader of the Doombots. So maybe Vision Quest is a direct setup for Avengers Doomsday. And I got a theory video about this, like, for sure. And then next, Tilda Swinton is the Ancient One. I do think we could be seeing the Ancient One again. And maybe Tony Stark learns magic from the Ancient One, and then as he becomes more powerful and like delves into dark magic, he like kills the Ancient One and becomes Doctor Doom. Like, gets scarred. That would be pretty cool. I got a theory about this, how Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom. Yeah. And then Zoe Saldana as Gamora, Karen Gillan as Nebula, Palm Clementif as Mantis, Sean Gunn as Kraglin, Dave Bautista as Drax, Kirsten Dunst as MJ, which connects to how I think Tobey Maguire could be back as Spider-Man. Maybe his daughter, Mayday Parker, gets kidnapped by Doctor Doom, and that's what brings Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man out of hiding. And then I have Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel, Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, Will Dusner as Scar, Joe Locke as Wiccan, and Rurier Malk as Speed, and Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez. We could be seeing the champions all meet up in Avengers Doomsday, and then go off with Vision in in the Champions show, like, next year, and to like look for Wanda and like free her from Doctor Doom. That would be pretty cool. And we can also get James Spader's Ultron in Champions as well. And then lastly, I have Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange and Charlize Theron as Clea. So basically, I think Strange, Wanda, and Clea could all be harbingers of doom. So I think we could be seeing like two versions of Wanda in Avengers Doomsday. We could be seeing Wanda in the X-Men universe. Maybe she gets killed when Doctor Doom strolls in to grab Cable, like baby Cable. Maybe he kills Jean Grey, who's trying to protect her child, and that's why Cyclops rages out. And then he also kills Wanda, causing Magneto to like use Stormbreaker, like who he could have like gotten in his universe, and then like go all force at Doctor Doom, and then Doctor Doom kills Magneto. That would be crazy. Yeah, like, or like later on in the movie, Magneto goes all in at Doctor Doom, and then Doctor Doom just uses his power to send all the metal back at Magneto, killing him. Like that would be crazy. And then Strange and Clea, like how they become harbingers of doom. We could get that in a Doctor Strange 3. Doctor Strange Time Runs Out. But yeah, I am so excited for Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday is going to be the biggest movie of the year, no doubt about that. It's going to probably be the biggest MCU movie of all time, the biggest Marvel movie of all time. Probably better than Endgame, or as good at least. But yeah, like my hype level for Avengers Doomsday is a 10 out of 10. And I've got a theory, like more talking about Doctor Strange 3 as well. Doctor Strange Time Runs Out. But yeah, right now I'll do my closing and say bye. Make sure to like, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. Until next time, guys. Bye.